Today is part 3 and the final part of my tier list. This is going to be featuring top tier. Again, my top tier is pretty big, so it's still lengthy, and I wanted to give it its own video for like the time to shine for these characters. If you missed my high tier or my low tier ones, you can, I guess the high tier one's going to be up above, and that one will link into the low tier one at the beginning. They're just good. This is, in my opinion, the most accurate tier list you will find for 12.0. And yeah, hope you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let's get into it. And now we're in lower top tier. Finally, this is its own video. So hi everyone, welcome to this video. Subscribe to the channel. Yoshi's the worst top tier. I have put Yoshi in high tier for a long time, but the more I think about Yoshi, and the more I watch this character, and the more, and like Yoshidora came out and actually was in a tournament and did so well in Japan, who play neutral so well, and like in theory should do really well versus Yoshi. They didn't. He got 5th. That's incredible. He was in winter semis. I think Yoshi's really strong. I think his air mobility is ridiculous. I think he has the ability to do plenty of safe aerials. I think his combos are really good. His offstage is really good. His edge guarding is really good. Egg is really good. He has double jump, so that combos just don't work on him a lot of times unless they're very, very true combos. He does struggle sometimes with killing, with other people can like play a more like evasive game, but also he can play evasive. So it's like in those matchups, it's like, oh, whoever has the lead is going to be doing well. Yoshi's really good, and there's plenty of good Yoshis in the States. I don't know if there's a good one in Europe, but there's good Yoshis in the States. There's Meme, Mexico, there's Yoshidora, and there's I think 1 or 2 other Yoshis in Japan. The character's good. This character is just wrong. You have Ron, who's is the other one in Japan. You have like Suarez and Meme and Raptor in North America, and like Miles as well. Like Miles is on the come up too. So like this character's good. He does a ton of damage. Forward tilt's really good. Obviously he can't be shield poked, which is a big deal. Because you can't shield poke him, and like so his neutral is going to be more solid. He has great out of shield options in terms of air and up air, and his up air is huge and just kills. And he has like he's so good on platforms, and he can shield poke everyone basically for free with down air. He's good. And I think people over exaggerate his bad matchups, even though like I think Pikachu beats this character. Like I think Pikachu does better against this character than I ever did. But like that doesn't mean the character like the character like I was like, oh, you're fighting a sword character. It's like cool. Be played mid range patiently. That's fine. You can definitely do that. So I think. That's like a big deal. That's like a very big deal. Yeah, Yoshi. I think Yoshi's top tier. If you want to put Yoshi here, or even like here, fine. But I think Yoshi's really, really. Speaking of characters that I normally put in high tier but are top tier, Samus. Character's broken. This character is the most frustrating character, I think overall, maybe the second most frustrating character to fight in the game, or third, because like maybe in the game a lot. He's so good. Joker, his Samus is incredible. Have Quick, have YB, you have. Those are the main ones. I know there's a couple of other good ones in North America, but like they're less relevant, I guess. Charge Shot is insane. It's like a top 10 move in the game, as I put in my top 10 move list. She forces every character to approach her except for characters that have really good reflectors. And even though so you don't like even if someone's not approaching you because you're doing Charge Shot, you just get half Charge Shot, and then you suddenly have a combo move that combos from a half stage into grab into forward air. Her kill potential is incredible because she has down smash on tech chases. She has obviously charge shot. She has up B, even though it's diable. She has back air. She has nair. She has up tilt. Her edge guarding is really good with forward air and nair and bomb. She has probably the best edge trapping in the game, in my opinion, because bomb is broken. Like it's so dumb. Like bomb, 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 bomb. Small charge shot's still good. She has so many like random kill confirms out of nowhere because of like half charge shots and stuff. Like you can get like downer at like 40% on characters into like charge shot. Into like back air or forward smash, which is crazy. I want to do that right now. Let me just try to do that. Like that's just a combo. Or that, you know. Like she has so much stuff. Like she kills you for like no reason in so many situations. Like and then she has like this shit, which just like invalidates a lot of recoveries in the game. She like beats aggressive characters a lot of the time. Her disadvantage is actually very underrated. It's actually pretty good because like obviously like her landing isn't that easy, but like bomb is still frustrating to deal with, and if people overcommit the wrong time, she's just gonna kill you. Also Dark Samus is technically better because her charge shot's lower. But I think Samus is like an incredible character. Like I personally don't have a ton of fun playing her like the way you're supposed to, but like this character's insane. She has a really good matchup spread. I don't think she loses a matchup worse than like I think she has like 1 or 2 -2s. Like that's it. I think Lucina matchup was terrible. I've always thought that, and then like Fox, and like those are my worst matchups as her. But like generally she's pretty good. Cause like she just forces so many guess situations. Like, oh, I'm charging charge shot. Am I going to shoot it? stop and grab, or aerial. And like, if you're wrong, you take so much damage. She has 0 to deaths on multiple stages in terms of Yoshi's, small battlefield, and stadium with up air. So like, you get down throw at 0 into short hop up air, fast fall, full hop up air, land on platform, full hop up air, double jump up air, up E. And like, it just kills on like most characters, like on like every character at 0 on those stages. So she has like really good stages. She's just strong. Like, the only thing she struggles with is if you have a really, really disjointed up air, or like a way to keep her in advantage, like PK Thunder, or like Palu's up air, or something like that. But like, I think she's so good. Like, I think she is absolutely fantastic. Like, her kill options are ridiculous too. Like, she's so good. Speaking of zoners that are incredible, we got Youngling. Youngling's ridiculous. His frame data is so good. The main negatives of this character are he doesn't have a lot of range in his close quarter combat options, and his recovery is kind of sus. His recovery's not that great. So you can edgeguard this character, has a lot of characters, but like, his movement and his speed and his combos are crazy. He has a good grab, has kill throw, and combo throws. Obviously it's a tether, so it's not good otherwise. But he has bomb, he has boomerang, which does a ton of damage, he has fair drag downs, down tilt does like 12.5 or something. It's like a lot, it's like way too much damage. But like, Youngling's ridiculous. Like, Youngling's really, really good. I'm down to, like, I would put him higher, but I just think he's a little too exploitable, and he's not heavy enough to really deal with like a lot of like the, I'm just gonna throw kill moves at you. Cause like, he's a little light. So like, that's another negative, but it doesn't matter as much because he's so good at just avoiding people, because he can also just run away from everyone for forever because he just goes projectiles. You know what I'm saying? But he's super good. Next up is Olimar. Speaking of zoners who are really good, Olimar's crazy. I think Olimar's insane. He obviously got a forward smash buff, which, why the f did they buff this character? Super annoying. But Olimar is just a bit ridiculous, but at the same time, he does lose a lot of matchups. Like, Olimar's matchup spread isn't that good, but the thing is he can just, like, snowball super hard, so it's one of those matchups that's just like, oh, even though he technically loses this matchup, oh, but you got the purple, he got double purple for 35 seconds, and whoops. Like, that's gonna be a thing. Like, this character loses to Mario really bad, in my opinion, to Joker, to Shulk, to Palu, to, probably Roy, to maybe R.O.B, like Game & Watch, Peach. Like, the character loses to a lot of characters. Even some characters probably below here. But like, then they just purple you, and it's so frustrating to fight against this character, because if you're not on top of everything at all times as the opponent, or as the Olimar to be honest, but the Olimar players are all godlike. If you're not on top of everything, you're gonna get like hit by a Pikmin that you didn't expect was the right order. He obviously has a frame 2 armor. He has a decently good recovery. I mean, you can edgeguard it, but like, it's hard because he can like zoom, suddenly just drop down, and it's crazy. Yeah, Olimar is pretty good. I think he's definitely top tier, but he's definitely lower top tier because he's just not as overwhelming as a lot of the other people. I mean, Dabuz is, but also Dabuz plays 3 characters at this point, so I can't just say it's Olimar. Next up is Chrom. Honestly, Chrom's a bit ridiculous. Everything about Chrom is fantastic, except for his recovery. Literally everything. But his recovery is so bad that it makes him lower top tier. I think Chrom, his speed is great, his combos are great, his aerials are amazing, his juggling is fantastic, he's good on platforms, he's good not on platforms, jab forward smash, jab back air, his side B's good, I've seen the Rivers' videos, he's so good, but then sometimes he gets hit and dies. As I've mentioned, consistency is really important at top level, and Chrom is not consistent, he is less consistent than Roy. We're gonna have Columbia with good recovery, top 5. I think otherwise he's broken. He kills so early. He kills so early. His forward tilt is so good. His edge trapping is so good. Yeah, Chrom is terrifying. He's so scary. But then, like, sometimes he just dies off stage. Next up, a slight demotion from my last tier list, and that's gonna be Falcon. I still think Falcon's broken. Character's scary. He kills people at 0. He kills people at 20. He kills people at 30. He's so fast. Raptor Boost has armor. His recovery is so much better now because of the tech check, or the up B buff. And it's also good for offense, too. Like, he gets way better offensive situations. He has great aerials. He has good ground options, mostly just like movement and grab. His grab is so scary. He has a kill throw. He has pretty decent edge trapping because he has jab and air and back air and stuff like that. He's just terrifying. He does have a couple bad matchups. He definitely loses like 10 or so matchups, but also welcome to this game. Everyone loses matchups. Like, even the best character in the game loses 2. And like the second best character loses like 5. So like, that's just how the game works. So it's okay that he has losing matchups because he can still definitely do all those matchups, because it's like, oh, he loses to Palu. It's like, okay, well, you get a single read on a neutral air and get a Raptor Boost, and now she's dead. Because of IDJ stuff. IDJ stuff is incredible. Raptor Boost buff back in the day was incredible. I think this character's insane. I think this character's super, super incredible. And people don't think that. And I think y'all are all wrong. Coney, you think Bayo's a high tier. You have no stake in this conversation. The thing that is so funny to me about tier lists, and I will put this in the video, the thing that is so funny to me about tier lists is every single person in the entire game is like, my character's high tier, my character's top tier, my character's really good, my character's incredible. And then I make a tier list with 25 top tiers and 25 high tiers, and people go, ESAM, that's too many high tiers. You're wrong. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, but also the Belmonts are high tier. And I'm just like, ah! It's like, pick one. You can't do both. ESAM, your high tier is too big. But also, Bayo and Mewtwo and Luigi and Falco and Lucas and Duck Hunt and Cloud are all high tier. And I'm just like, what do you mean? Yeah, Falcon's broken. He's too scary. His disadvantage is, like, he gets comboed, but, like, anything he gets comboed in almost every single matchup, he combos the opponents worse than vice versa. But, like, he has to get the hit, obviously, and he doesn't have as amazing of a neutral as, let's say, Pikachu or Palu or Wolf or Min Min and stuff like that. But, like, he gets the hit, he gets in. And, like, he has the ability to get in, like, every character, like, at some point. So, next up, we have a character I think is slightly overrated by most people. Still a very good character, do not get me wrong, and that is Sephiroth. I think Sephiroth is a little too slow and a little too only neutral for him to be better. I know with Wing he gets some combos and he gets like multiple jumps and stuff, and his disadvantage is really good. And obviously he's top tier, he's broken. But like people consider him like top 5, top 10, and I think that's ridiculous. I think he has a lot of good stuff, but also no one knows the matchup yet because there's been like 3 events offline, and like it's just hard. It's hard to know how to fight him because he's kind of like Smash 4 Cloud, but like way worse. Or in terms of just like people don't know the timings of like when to parry and when he's gonna do what, and like side B's pretty good. But like he has a lot of good stuff, don't get me wrong, but I think a lot of his stuff is dealable with, and of course he is a big light character, so he's going to die really early against a lot of characters like Wolf, Min Min, Palu, Shulk, Pika. Like I think he's a little too normal, but he's not solid enough to be a little bit better. Like the next character, Lucina. I think Lucina's overrated. I've been thought Lucina was overrated. I think Lucina's advantage is a little bit stronger because she has better frame data. Sephiroth's frame data is a little too slow to like juggle a lot of people effectively, and Lucina's does not. He up airs and then forward airs and stuff. Like I think Sephiroth's really good. Again, top tier. These are both top tier. I just think they're overrated because their disadvantage states are overall not as good as people think they are. Their edge pressure is really good. Back air's really strong. They get solid kills. Their edge guarding overall is very good, but the disadvantage isn't great. And overall, it's just like, she has some good stuff, down air combos, but she doesn't really have combos. She has like up tilt, up air, down air, back air, down air, forward smash if you get it. But like, a lot of the time she's just going to be playing neutral, and the thing is there are so many characters in like the top 10 that are just like, oh, I got the hit, dead, and I also have good neutral. So that's a big deal. Up B invincibility helps, but it's not like it's a big risk. It's not like it's a small risk like flip jump or Mii Brawler's down B or like Thunder. Like they're not big risks. Like Lucina up B, if you're wrong, suddenly they're just gonna like get like whatever they want, whether it's a combo move, whether it's a strong move to hit you off stage, and then your edge trap, like getting off of the ledge is hard. I think honestly Lucina has a worse time getting off ledge than Falcon does. He just has a slightly better recovery. I think, again, good character, very good character, but not super broken. Next up is gonna be a bit of a contentious pick in my opinion. That's going to be Wario. Wario got nerfed, and the nerfs matter in a lot of matchups because he's not going to anti-air people for free. Wario just has really good combos, don't get me wrong. Watching Pluto, if you didn't watch my last YouTube video, he's incredible. I'll put that in the link above me. Wario's still a very good character. His mobility, in terms of like his air mobility, is very good. He can bait people a lot. He can do so much good stuff. But again, the top tiers and the people that know how to play this matchup say, oh, you got full waft. I'm still running from you. He doesn't have a good mid-range at all compared to a lot of top tiers, or even some high tiers where he doesn't have the fast aerials like Diddy Kong's forward air, or Ike's nair, or Inkling back air, or dealing with pellets, or like Sheik forward air, where he's like, I have to like nair and hope that I was super close to them, because if it doesn't, the second it's not going to combo, and then I don't get anything. Yeah, Wario just struggles in a little too many areas for him to be super top tier or top 10 anymore, but this character is still amazing. He does a ton of damage, he has a command grab, he has a pretty good recovery, he has good edge guarding in terms of forward air and down air. He has scary edge trapping. Of course, he does still have waft, so landing up air waft, nair waft, up tilt waft if you get the tech chase, or like a spot dodge read or something. But he just doesn't get enough anymore for him to be super top tier, like not top 10. I mean, I think my super top tier is I think 11 characters, so he's like 17 or 16 or something, which is still incredible. Like being top 20, 25 in this game is really, really, really good. But I just don't think he's super his neutral is scaring you. Yeah, he wants to bait you into doing something so that he can hit you. But if you have the discipline, you just don't. Like, I think he loses to Samus, even though Gluto beats Quick, but that's because Gluto's top 5 in the world and Quick is not. You know, like Gluto is just so good. Next up, Steve. Steve is insane. This character is ridiculous. He can kill you 17 ways from Sunday with grab, up tilt, down tilt, forward tilt. He has so many combos. So many combos that just kill you. He has a great up smash out of shield. You have to kind of approach him because you don't want him to get diamond, because diamond is broken, especially if he gets 2 diamond. It's crazy. His neutral is overall pretty good. He doesn't have a good mid-range, but really only a couple of characters can abuse that. Like 5 or so characters can abuse that. And also, against some of those characters, he just kills them. Like, Palu is one of the characters that can kind of abuse his mid-range, but they get grabbed a single time, one time, and they get down throw, get jab all the way across the stage, fair into block the edge, and he wins. He can block the edge. And he, of course, is super creative. He doesn't have that bad of a disadvantage because he has cart and down air and blocks. He's just so good, and people are like, oh, just camp him out in mid-range. But there's, like, again, very few characters that can do that, in my opinion. Like, from playing Steve, I didn't feel pressured in mid-range a lot by, like, any character, except for, like, Sephiroth and, like, Pyra and, like, Mythra, specifically. Like, none of the other characters bother me. Even people like Palu and Min Min didn't bother me. Maybe Shulk did. His dash attack is pretty safe. Of course, if he gets diamond, he just kills you. No impact land, like 2-block no impact land are crazy. His grab is so underrated. I know you can pancake under it, but it's actually so good. Apparently you can angle it, which I haven't seen the video yet, but apparently you can angle Steve's grab. Like, he can get run away from sometimes, like by Zero Suit, but also if you're blatantly running away by Zero Suit, he's gonna get diamond, and like if he gets like tip or Zares, it's not gonna do anything, so then he continues to mine anyway. He just shuts down and invalidates so many characters. Because he goes, jump, block, 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 what do you do? Like, did you watch Vendetta versus Didi? He just couldn't get in, ever, because block just beat neutral. And then if they ever start hitting the lower block, you can just punish it with cart or dash attack or forward smash or grab, or you just build more. It's so hard, in my opinion, to just consistently overwhelm and outpace Steve. Because if he ever gets even iron tools, he just does so much damage. He has so many 0-to-deaths. Of course, you can SDI his forward air. That's like literally one of the most important things. It's one of the reasons I'm happy I played Steve, because I feel like I learned the matchup a lot more. But like his SDIing his fair is so important, but if you don't have the room to, or you mess up a little bit, like he suddenly just kills you. If he ever hits you, if he parries anything you do, because you're landing aerial once, you get parried, aerialed into like up air or up tilt, and you just die. Like, he kills characters, like he literally kills Mario starting at 30, and I'm just gonna show you some examples because I'm gonna make a video about this when I do like Steve guides, because I'm still doing guides, it's just hard. Like, let's go to Steve real quick. 40. Oh, I can do that. Okay, yeah. Same route. And then let's just bump up a little higher, right? Like 60. The thing is, you can always follow DI. There's no DI on right now, but it will work with DI, trust me. Like, he just literally gets an up tilt of like any percent and kills you. So it's like, oh, you tried to land on him once, dead. And it's like, okay, starting at this percent, it doesn't have to go that long. Oh my god. Like, oh, you got an anti-air. Like, your opponent's jumping on you. So what the like, I had 2 blocks on, like, I had 2 blocks here, and they approached me. I did this. Because you have to play a ground game versus him, but it's hard to play a ground game versus him because he has block. And block is incredible. Like, Steve is insane. Like, Steve is such a good character. Like, it works from, like, 35, and that's with wood. So with, like, diamond and stuff, it works even earlier, and, like, iron and stuff. Like, it works forever. Like, it works so long. Again, like, that's crazy. His grab is so good. He has, like, you know, with diamond, he has up tilt, NIL, F smash. He has F smash in general, which is a really good move and hard to deal with. He's just a good character, and people don't think so because just camped him, but like, I guarantee you they either play one of the 3 matchups that they win. Like, Pikachu beats Steve too, like, so I'm not even doing this because like Steve bodies Pikachu. Like, I think they either play like Zero Suit or like Palu or Sephiroth or like Pyra Mythra, or they don't know what they're talking about. But Steve is super crazy. Next up, we have, it's one of 2 characters. Don't know which one it is. It's hard. Which one is it? I don't know. I'm gonna go with Fox. This is probably the lowest I have ever put Fox on my tier list. Like 17. I think Fox is really crazy. His offensive pressure is the best in the game. One of the best in the game at the very least. He does so much damage, he has tech chases, he has dash attack, he has back air, he has good great ledge trapping, he has a good jab, he has so much good stuff. But his disadvantage is arguably the worst of all the top tiers. It's like, Fox's is probably worse than Chrom's. Chrom at least has like a good air dodge. I don't know what he's supposed to do when he gets hit, besides die. Like, his recovery is better than people give it credit for, but still not good. And like, because he's a fast faller, he just gets spiked and dies. There are so many characters that can just mess with Fox's recovery very easily. And that's really bad in a meta where like you messed up once because Fox has to be aggressive and dies for it. I think there could be some optimization for this character still, especially with like the buffs to downer and forward air, but like just not broken enough to be like super broken. Because he's worse than Pac-Man! Pac-Man's ridiculous. This character is insane. His flaw is sometimes his disadvantage is bad if he already has Hydrant out. That's about it. Fills out the ass. His combos are good. His grab is amazing. His edge guarding is great. His edge guarding is okay. Downer is incredible though. His recovery is really good. His damage output's fantastic. Like, Galaga's incredible. He has so many mix-ups because he has a bunch of different... He has up air, which moves him. He has nair. He has, of course, Bell, F smash, Bear, back air, Bell, up smash. Like, edge trapping is terrifying. He has so many setups. But the problem is he just does lose certain matchups that are just like Palu, like Zero Suit, like Min Min. Mostly those three, honestly. There's probably a couple more. I know Game & Watch is even, which is always a matchup I'm like, oh, definitely beats Game & Watch. He does not. Probably loses to Shulk. Probably lose to Joker a little bit. Probably lose to Pyra Mythra. Like, character's really, really strong. Pac-Man's just insane. He's super clutch. He's super anti-clutch in terms of, like, helping... Like, it's hard to clutch versus him because he's just so annoying. He slows the game down to a crawl a lot of the time. It's just annoying. Pac-Man's super annoying. Next up is probably going to be the highest placing you'll see on a tier list ever for this character, and that is... Where is he? Kazuya. I think Kazuya is broken. I think this character is insane. He is theory top 5, but it is so hard to be correct with him so often to be top 5. I think he's super strong. He's 0 to every character in the game. He's good on platforms, people are lying to you. He has platform combos, he has tech chases, he can catch people, he has a command grab, so you can't just sit on platforms with him. There's some annoying things about him, like his auto turnaround's not that great. And obviously he has to play the game very different than a lot of characters because there's a lot of times, like for me personally, there's a lot of situations that I know I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna hold shield, wait until they do blank, and then jump, because I can just get away. And he can't, because his jump sucks, because it's frame 8 or 7, whatever it is. But this character is insane. Like, he has so many good things. Electric is the best offensive move in the game. It combos into literally everything. His kill potential is ridiculous. Like, electric up smash or forward smash just kills super early. He has combos into electric and from everything. He has an invincible dash that can go into shield after like a frame or 2. His movement's ridiculous. Like, he has the ability to just zone in. Grab literally kills most characters at 0. Yeah, he's insane. Because he seems like he requires full dedication. I don't know what he's going to drop him. That's fair. But that doesn't mean the character's bad. Like, that doesn't mean the character's bad. That just means it's hard. Like, I think Kazuya is one of the hardest characters in the game. Not because of his combos. I think the combos are easy. You just learn the timing eventually. But, like, his movement and his decision-making for this character is very different from a lot of characters. And he has, obviously, a ton of moves. This character's good. I think his disadvantage is not as bad as people think it is. I think his recovery is better than people give it credit for. He does, of course, have a reflector, so a lot of just zoner characters don't necessarily do well versus him. Like, I didn't really think Samus was a bad matchup, and Samus is like a general, like, keep-away matchup, right? I think the Steve matchup's probably pretty bad. I know, like, Pikachu's bad, and there's a couple of other top tiers he doesn't do very well against. But again, it's like the Wario thing, except he doesn't have to wait for waft, you know? Like, he's just like, oh, if Kazuya gets the hit, he wins. But, like, he can't, like, good luck getting the hit, but also he doesn't have to wait 2 minutes for that. So he just runs up to you and goes, invincibly, and just fucking scares you. He can invincibility through projectiles as well. He can invincible through hitboxes. He has a ton of invincibility on his moves, like up tilt and stuff like that. Character's crazy. I think Kazuya's ridiculous. I think he's the second best top tier of this pack, or third, I guess. He's so good. He's so stupidly good. If you want to look at all my Kazuya videos, I did a ton on like 0 to every character and combos and stuff. It's gonna be above me. Character's ridiculous. I think he's just super hard. Next up, Zoot Suit. Zero Suit Samus. She's like, I think, what, like 14 now or something? She's really good. She's really good. Good character. But the nerfs that she received do hurt. Up B not being frame 4 hurts, because not gonna be able to deal with a lot of pressure nearly as well. Like, people that have really good aerials, like let's say Game & Watch's Nair is now safe. Well, once. Pikachu's down tilt is now safe. Roy and Chrom now have like everything safe on shield. it's hard. Like, the bad matchups she had got worse, in my opinion, because of the nerfs. I don't think she lost, she loses any more matchups. She's still ridiculous. Like, she's still so mobile. She's still, like, the thing that invalidates characters as Zero Suit isn't, whatchamacallit, isn't her moves, it's her mobility. Like, Zaire, and just running away. She just runs away. Like, if there's a character that's like, oh, they struggle with, like, you know, approaching because they're slow, Zero Suit wins. Like, 65-35. She's the best character at just running away from you the entire game, in my opinion. I think she's better at runaway than Sonic is. Sonic just has spin. I think Zero Suit's really good still, but, like, and I know the Japanese Zero Suits are even, like, fine with the nerfs because they're just doing landing up right now because it's still, like, -2 or -3. Like, her aerials are still dummy safe. It's just not Nair and uppy anymore. Like, Nair used to be -2, now it's -4, so she can get punished by, like, three frame uppies, so, like, Game & Watch gets harder, so I think that's even now. And Mario as well. But up air's still -2, so is there. So they just do this now. They're like, up air, and that's their mix-up instead of Nair. So it's a little, you know, it's not going to be as rewarding because Nair flip jump, Nair fair flip jump, you know, you can't up air fair flip jump, I don't think. But also you can get ladder combos on most characters. So this character still has a ton of great things, and it's still super frustrating to approach this character. Like, I don't know who approaches this character for free. Like, I can't think of a single one. Because she's just so fast and has flip jump. But, like, her defense is so good even if her offense got worse, but her offense is still good, it's just different. Next up, the last two characters in lower top tier. Roy. I think Roy's really good. If you watch the Panda video on the top 10, I don't think Roy's top 10. I think he's slightly too exploitable because he's a fastballer and he gets comboed to hell. And characters that have a decent amount of range can kind of frustrate him sometimes because they're going to be fighting at the mid-range and he wants to fight at the close range. Great combos, jab, forward smash, jab, side B. Well, jab, forward smash only works on DIN, but jab, back air, jab, forward air, jab, side B. His kill potential is ridiculous. He has, like, sour spot combos into sweet spot combos, so, like, his sour spots aren't even bad. They're just not good in neutral necessarily. This character's crazy good. So fast. The pressure, the tech chases, everything about this character is super good. But, like, struggles to get off the ledge, gets comboed really hard, and sometimes can struggle to recover depending on the character. And against certain characters, you can kind of pick your spots where you're not going to get sweet spotted a lot. But then again, he has, like, run up, pivot F tilt. This character's really, really strong. But just, in my opinion, slightly out of top 10 because he has slightly too many flaws. The last character in lower top tier, Robert. Rob is a little higher than he was on my last tier list. I used to put him at, like, 20 or so. I've just realized over time that, like, even though he has a bunch of, like, 6-4s out of his favor and, like, bad matchups, it's a bad matchup if you don't get hit. He has all those matchups out of his favor, and then he down airs you, or he gets a gyro. Like, his combo game is so unoptimized by literally all of the good Robs, including Zachary, that, like, if they just did the combos, they would just never lose. Or they would lose only to, like, very, very select people. And Zachary already doesn't. Like, if they did any, like, of Lucretio's combos, not even, like, the more complex ones, but, like, this shit, let me show you again. Like, the new Rob meta. That one. It's so good. It just extends stuff so far. Because then, of course, he has, like, you know, dash attack into fucking... Dash is free. Like, there's so many situations where Rob just, like, wins for no reason. This move is ridiculous. Down tilt, of course, is, like, the best ground normal in the game other than electric. He has so many good things. He's a boxer that, like, kind of annoys you with projectiles, and, like, his mid-range is incredible. But, like, he's just dumb. And there's so many good things about him. Oh, you there? But yeah, Rob's ridiculous. I think, again, he doesn't have quite a good enough disadvantage state for me to put him in top 10, or, like, you know, upper, like, right here. But he's ridiculous in, like, every other way. Like, literally everything other than his disadvantage is, like, an NFM. Like, his recovery's great, his edge guarding's great, his edge trapping's great, his, you know, mid-range is great, his combos are great. He has kill confirms, he has a great out of shield up smash. Like, he's just good. Like, he's just good. But yeah, he's the bottom of top tier, which puts us into super, super top tier. The bottom of super top tier is Snake. I think Snake is incredible. I love the Z catch grenade tech allows his camping to be super good. He obviously has a ton of good stuff with his camping and combos, but the reason he's the end of super top tier, in my opinion, is he is so hard to play in a tournament setting, because it is so hard, as Mars mentioned, to not get predictable and just, like, play solidly the entire time and, like, never mess up anything. Because if you mess up one thing, you might get hit and die, or take 70 or 80% because Snake's disadvantage sucks. But he has great two-framing with down smash and Nikita. He has up smash ledge trapping, and some of the best ledge trapping in the game, especially if you don't know what you're doing. If you don't know the Snake matchup, you're going to lose. It doesn't matter what character you play. But also, if you know the Snake matchup, you can deal with a lot of Snake stuff. But, like, down throw, up tilt in general as an anti-air, Down tilt is incredible. His down tilt is so good. Well, Triceratops' kill potential is out the ass. He kills so early. Down air out of shield's a great option, even though it's not really that good of a move because you can SDI out of it, which is pretty big. Like, I do that a lot. He loses a lot of matchups, but at the same time, it's like, okay, well, you have to, like, get those hits, and getting in on Snake can sometimes be very difficult. But he's a good character, obviously. Great character. He's super top tier. But he's just hard. Like, he's probably the hardest character in the game, in my opinion. But, like, damn, he's good. So good. It's so hard to, like, play correctly versus him if you're not like me or DeBuzz or like Cosmo. Next up is Pyra Mythra. So I know I mentioned that like, oh well, like recoveries are bad for consistency purposes, right? With like Chrom and Roy. But the thing is, she's better because she has foresight. So she's not gonna get zoned by projectiles. And her overall disadvantage, other than offstage, is pretty okay because of fast fall air dodge.
No, they're not Inkling, because they can kill.
Because their advantage state is so much better than Inkling. And they're also neutral so much better because short hop nair, crazy. They do so much damage. Their combos are great. Their edge pressure is super safe. And then of course, if you are struggling to kill, you can just go into Pyra and like forward tilt. Even though I think Pyra is significantly worse. I think Pyra is significantly worse than Mythra. I think you should play as Mythra 99% of the time. Obviously, their recovery is kind of sus, especially after the nerf of the air dodge. I think their overwhelming strengths get around anything negative because they're so fast. They're so safe. They're so crazy to play in neutral. The fact that multi-hit aerials are bad versus them, like Palu's nair and Pikachu's back air and forward air, like don't work versus this character because they shield it and then foresight. Like foresight's huge and it can deal like it can get a lot of kills because you get forward smashes on a lot of these things. Like you do foresight roll against a Pikachu back air and then dash forward smash and stuff like that. And their forward tilts, like literally every move they have is super good. Even though down is probably their worst move, but it's still like good. Like I don't think you can really edge trap as this character, or rather edge guard as this character, but you still have like run off up B, which is good, kind of like Ike's, and you just do it over and over again. Good on platforms, they're good on FD. I think they're ridiculous. I think they're so good. And again, as I mentioned, even though they got nerfed, I still think they only have room to go up. Like in my opinion, they were going closer to top 5, then the nerf backed them down to like I think that's number 10. Like I'm fine also doing like this, like that's fine, like whatever. Like, I'm not really worried about that. Next up, we have Pokemon Trainer. I think Pokemon Trainer is pretty damn good. Again, as we kind of talked about in the Panda video, they only have to play the character that is working in a good situation. I think their matchup spread is amazing. I think they lose like to 4 or 5 characters, 6 characters, and they're all very doable because everything that each character does is really good. They all have different types of cheese because you have like 4 tilt tech chases with PT. You have obviously like up air and down air as Ivysaur and up B. You have Charizard being Charizard. They're just super strong. And they're really hard to play against in neutral all the time. There's a couple things you have to look out for, like, you know, mash on Squirtle's F tilt at, like, 0, which is really important. Learning how to play against this character is actually very important. But he's so scary. Like, Pokemon Trainer is so terrifying. Like, all 3 Pokemon are just good in all different situations, and they only have to play them in those situations. Like, their recovery is pretty good, their damage output's incredible, like, all of them. Charizard's, like, the scariest character to play at a last stock situation in the entire game, in my opinion. Actually, like, 100%. Like, I'd rather play against Arsene Joker than Charizard. Maybe that's a me thing, maybe I'm biased, but at least you can like throw Joker off stage or something. They're so good. Obviously Tweak doesn't play the character anymore, but like there's still plenty of good other Pokemon trainers, especially with Atelier getting better and Wid's doing better and R.O.B is always good. I don't think PT loses that many matchups, or if they do, they're like swingy matchups because the character is swingy. Oh yeah, Ned, sorry. Ned, I think of Sephiroth now. But yeah, I think Pokemon Trainer is really, really good. Next up, we have Mario. Mario's dumb. This character is the definition of, oh, I killed you at 30, but also I have good neutral. His aerials are, like, overall, I think, the safest in the game. He has back air, nair, up air that are all very, very safe. He has great kill potential, obviously, with up smash and back air and back throw. He has great edge guarding. Well, not edge guarding necessarily, but edge trapping or, like, 2-framing with dash attack and forward smash. He has combos. Combos. He grabs you at 20 and you die. He grabs you at 30 and you die. He grabs you at 40 and you die, depending on where the platforms are. Just kills you in so many situations that you have to constantly be playing perfect. And if you're playing perfect, he's not that good. If you're playing perfect, he's here. But the game is too young to constantly play perfect all the time. Because like all of his bad matchups, quote unquote, are just like, oh, they're like -1 because yeah, you swat him out the entire time. But then you're wrong once and he gets in and deals 70 plus advantage. Character's nuts. So much better than a Smash 4 counterpart, and he was already ridiculous in Smash 4. Like, up air downer is dumb. Like, his combos, he's good. He's good, like, especially with this current stageless, with small battlefield Yoshis, and PS2. Like, he just gets 2 counter picks every set. If it's like a 3 out of 5, he just gets 2 counter picks, unless it's 3 bans. which I think it should be 3-band, 9 stage, but whatever. Super hard to deal with for most characters. He just like, and he has a great out of shield option. He has like tied for the best frame data out of shield option in terms of up B, which is frame 3. It's smaller than Game Watch's, but it's still very, very good. And like, I feel like if Mario's just did that more, just like, oh, you hit my shield, ding, instead of going for like greedy up airs and stuff out of shield, suddenly people would just be like, how do I approach this character? Like, I have to wall him out, and then that's it. You know who else is dumb? Speaking of frame 3 up B, is Game & Watch. I don't understand why people don't think this character's top 10. I think it's crazy that people don't think this character's top 10. He's insane. He's piloted by one of the best the best players in the world. He is the character, I feel like, that is the most frustrating to play against in the game. Or just overall. He has so many things that are invalidating of so many characters because he has edge guarding, back air, and down air. He has Chef for edge trapping. He has up air. He has nair. He has you can't shield pressure me with up B. He has up smash invincibility. He has really good combos with like down throw nair, nair, up air, up air. He's just really good. He loses a couple matchups, sure. Like, I know Meister thinks he loses like 6 or 7 matchups maybe. But like, all of those matchups, except for maybe Zero Suit, have really bad advantage states. Now, all the matchups that Game & Watch loses, like Lucina and Ike and Shulk and probably Min Min and stuff like that, literally, they get hit once and die. All of them. And I know because I've played all of them. Like, Shulk shield art doesn't actually help that much. For Lucina, you just get up aired and then you get juggled for forever because they're disadvantaged about. Like, all those characters have mediocre disadvantages except for Zero Suit. Which is why Zero Suit, I mean, honestly, I think it might be even now because of the Nair nerf. He gets upbeat. But like, he has some of the best applicable killing in the game because of down smash, forward smash. Kills you super early. It's really hard to deal with all of his stuff. And the thing is, a lot of his animations are ambiguous because of his blocky nature. So he just like, you can't hit him. Or you don't know when things are over. Like dash attack, I don't know when dash attack finishes because it's hard to tell because he goes, I'm done. Like, it's hard. Like, it's so hard to know that. He has literally the best ledge jump in the game because he literally teleports off of the ledge. Like, he's not moving, especially if you still have the invincibility from your ledge grab. He just suddenly is off the ledge. And like, you literally can't react. You have to guess. His neutral get up's really good. It's really difficult to ledge trap him because he has ledge hop nair, which is huge, or like ledge hop up B, which is still a trash matchup due to her not being able to get hit. Yeah, but like the thing is, Zero Suit gets hit, like, Zero Suit also doesn't do damage to Game & Watch. Like, she has to only Zair and side B, and like, that's it. She can't do approaching things ever, because now everything is punished by up B. But like, I don't think he has a matchup worse than -1, and all those -1s are really volatile because all of their disadvantage states are bad. But yeah, I think Game Watch is ridiculous. I don't know what Game Watch's flaws are besides he's light, and that only really happens to matter in like 4 matchups. Speaking of broken but not tie 5, Broken Peach. Peach is ridiculous. She has some of the best combos in the game. She's so tricky on shield. She has everything you want as a character other than speed. She has disadvantage mix-ups, she has a pretty good recovery, it's a good counter, has a really good projectile, she has great aerials, she has float, which is the most broken mechanic in the game. If any character had float, if any other character had float, like float, literally, if Peach didn't have float, she would quite literally probably be here. Like, float makes her 60 characters better, 70 characters better. Like, she's still broken. She has so much. Her turnip combos just kill. But the problem is, as the game gets slowly better, like, she's not, let's say Mario, because she doesn't have like the ridiculous aerial speed of Mario. Like, you remember how I mentioned, like, oh, just play perfect against Mario and he's worse. It's like, yeah, well, you can do that versus Peach because she's actually slower. So, like, you can get, like, a lot of zoners actually do well versus her because she doesn't actually have a way to deal with projectiles. So characters like Samus, Young Link, and even Villager, Diddy Kong, do pretty well versus her because they just swat her out before she even gets there. But if you get the hit, it's one of those things that's like, oh, it's -1 until you get the hit. And like, she will get the hit eventually. It's just, you know, she can struggle a bit more against like the really like hardcore zoners. I think even like Steve probably beats Peach. Peach mains under right here. I agree. Peach mains are like, oh, she's like here. But Peach and Zero Suit mains need like shut up. All of them. All of them. Say what I said. I just think she, like, as the meta, like, as new characters are getting like added and the meta is like shoring up, I think she's just getting worse. Like, she loses to like, you know, Pyra Mythra, probably to Min Min, probably to Steve, so she's like 3 new matchups got added that are losses for her. Which kind of bump her down. I mean, otherwise she'd be like top 4 or 5, in my opinion. But she's, you know, 7, which is still really good. Like, 7 is amazing. Like, this is so good. Like, these are all entirely meta-defining characters, and Peach is definitely one. Because if you don't know the Peach matchup and you can't camp her, like, you're, like, if you have to fight Peach, you're screwed. 6 and 5 is hard, but I think I'm pretty sure of myself. Number 6 is Dark Pit. Dark Pit's crazy. No, I'm joking. He's just, I don't know why they don't get rid of Daisy and Dark Pit. I think number 6 is the best swordsman in the game, Shulk. He's so good. He does not play the same game as other characters, and not even in a way where Min Min doesn't play the same game, or Kazuya doesn't play the same game, or whatever. Shulk plays so different. He has safe aerials, but they're slow. Really awkward to like hit them, but he has shield art, and smash art, and speed art, and buster. So he does so much damage, he has a ton of combos, he has crazy tech that just leads to people dying super early. Like buster down air, deactivate forward smash, just kills people like 40% down air. Like it's so dumb. He gets out of combos, so you literally can't combo him as like any character, except like unless you have very specific things like Pikachu can still combo out of shield art or shield art Shulk, but it's like very specific stuff. His matchup spread's ridiculous. Like he's the first character here that's just like, yeah, he doesn't lose matchups. Like he loses 3 matchups, and they're all 55-45 in my opinion, which is Pika, Snake, and Shulk. Sorry, Pika, Snake, and Palu. And he like goes even with every other character. He's kind of awkward to play, honestly. I played him for a while. Other than like his tech, which like sometimes you don't even need, but like he literally like plays different than a lot of characters because his moves are so slow. Like his disadvantage actually isn't that good. I don't like being disadvantaged to Shulk unless you have like jump art and just go to the other side of the stage. But like if you constantly are switching your alts, it's not gonna be as good. You literally have to play so perfect versus Shulk all the time as any character. Even the characters that do well versus him have to play perfect. And if you don't, you're gonna die at 50. He just dominates the game against like everyone other than those 3 characters. Because he has range, has safe aerials, he has good out of shield options, well, no case out of shield option because of Uppy, that's big. And like he has movement. He's just like trying to like dash out of your way. He's just crazy. He's so good. And like there's 2 PGR Shulks, and I think they're crazy. Like I think it's insane. Min Min. Min Min is probably overall the most invalidating character, or second most invalidating character in the game. She's so dumb. And a lot of what people struggle against her with is like not even optimized. Like no Min Min has everything. They either have good neutral or good combos. I think the closest one is Proto, and Proto won a Japanese major over Zachary, and T, and Ken, and blah blah blah. I think Min Min is ridiculous. I do think she loses a couple matchups, don't get me wrong. But again, the matchups that she loses, one, aren't that bad, except for Sheik, but Sheik is not relevant enough for it to matter. And then it's like, oh, well, yeah, you got the hit, but also I have giant arms, and I can 2-frame every character, and she has something to beat every single character in the game, even her bad matchups. She has a good out of shield option and up smash, the nerf didn't matter. Like, it matters, but it doesn't really matter. She's just ridiculous. All of her arms are super good. The fact that she constantly has a timing mix-up to use her second arm means that you're scared and shield all the time forever. She has a lot of representation. She's the best counterpick character in the game, probably. Either that or Game & Watch. But I think Min Min's probably a little easier for the matchups that like you would use her for. I think she's so good. You don't think she's solar main? I mean, you can secondary this character, that's fine. But like, I don't think her losing matchups are bad except for Pikachu and Sheik. And there's me, and then Void. And like, that's gonna be about it for those 2. So like, it's fine. Because like, even her bad matchups, like people are like, Diddy Kong's bad. It's just like, okay, but just get Banana, and now suddenly you're shitting on them. Like, they have a way, like, Min Min has a way to like even most matchups except for those 2. Her neutral is just so good. It's so crazy. And it's like, oh, well, what about the rushdown characters? It's like, yeah, all the rushdown characters have bad recovery, just kills. Like, you know, it's like you think like, oh, well, Mythra's just gonna get in there and kill her. I think Min Min versus Pyra Mythra is like Pyra Mythra's second worst matchup, or worst matchup. I think it's so bad. I think Min Min's broken. I think Min Min's absolutely ridiculous. I thought Min Min was absolutely ridiculous. I put her at like top 15 at worst when she first came out, and that was a year ago. I think she's so good. She has so many dumb combos. Like, she kills you from ledge at 40 if you like roll, because she's like down tilt into Ram Nair, Ram tilt Dragon Smash, and just die. She has powered up Dragon for no reason. Megawatt's super good. Her edge trapping is ridiculous. Like, everything about this character is just amazing. Except for her disadvantage state, but it's not even that bad. Like, her disadvantage isn't even that bad. Like, people overrate the hell out of it. It's like top 50%, top 40% of it. Number 4, Wolf. This character's dumb. He is so solid. He's super solid. His matchup start is ridiculous. I don't know who he loses to other than, like, Pikachu. And even then, some of the Wolves don't think that, even though I think it's wrong. But like, Wolf is ridiculous. He has a good grab, he has grab combos, he has kill throw, he has some of the best 2-framing in the game, or the scariest 2-framing in the game. He has so many combos, he has Wolf Flash, he has back air, which is one of the best aerials in the entire game is Wolf back air because it auto cancels for no reason. Let's do the math. How safe is Wolf back air actually? Because I know Ultimate Frame Rate is wrong. After auto cancel, you go through 4 frames of hard landing. Oh yeah, you do. You're right. So it's like -3. Oh, I forgot about that. So it's -3, that's still broken. That for a move that kills at 80 at the ledge, it's like one of the strongest aerials in the game. Wolf's ridiculous. He has suicide. I don't know the cancel. Okay, so it's -5. Yeah. -5. And then like, but you're also spacing around it, so like it's still really stupid. Like it's so strong. It's the strongest Samus's, but Samus's is harder to use and has way more lag. It's broken. It's so good. He doesn't really have flaws. I mean, his flaws is like sometimes he gets comboed and his recovery is kind of bad. But like Wolf's recovery is bad in a way, unlike Fox's, where like everyone can mess with Fox's because you have a ton of time. Wolf's you kind of have to be really good at edge guarding, so like the good edge guarding characters can deal with it, like Pika and Pichu and Shulk and maybe Min Min, like Pokemon Trainer, stuff like that. But most characters aren't going to be able to edge guard Wolf, but they can like advantage state him. His aerials are very good. I think Nair is overrated, but I think it's very good. He does so much damage. He's so solid. Like, there's never a point, unless you play Pikachu, so this is my bias out of it, there's never a point against Wolf when I'm watching Wolf and I'm like, oh, they definitely lost. Because their neutral is so solid, their whip punishing is amazing, their jumps are great, the air mobility is fantastic, spacing aerials is super good, Blaster helps, you know, hit approaches. I don't think it's like as good as people think it is, but it's still good enough, you know. I think it's super good. And ironically, the highest I've ever put Palu after she got nerfed a ton of times. Number 3, Palu's the 3rd best character in the game. Palu was definitely a character that I 100% viewed with Pika bias before. 100%. When I still had her in top 10. It was 7. That was Pika bias. Because Pika shits on this character. I think Pikachu Palu is like one of the worst top tier versus top tier matchups. He's crazy. She controls the game at all times. Like, outside of Pikachu, she controls the game at all times. Because she's faster than you, she has invincible moves, she has, air, which is great against the majority of the cast, like the large majority of the cast. She has a good grab, even if it got nerfed. She has great advantage state. She has a good 2-frame with, where she has one good 2-frame, one great 2-frame, a good one in terms of down tilt, a great one in terms of up smash. Her edge guarding is pretty solid. Air is still relatively safe on shield. I think she does worse versus Game & Watch now, but like, there's nothing wrong with this character except for she loses to Pikachu really bad. But I think Pikachu, like 65-35 is this character. I think it's bad. Paper grab's crazy. She has back throw. She doesn't really, like, she struggles to kill sometimes, but like she can just continue to play neutral. And for the most part, the characters she's going to struggle with also can't kill. Like in terms of the neutral part. So like she's fine. Like she literally just beats so many characters. She just nairs like every character that's like half of high tier and lower, she just nairs and wins. She's so fast. She has a great empty jump. She has a good down tilt. She has good ways to punish spot dodges with like her down tilt, up tilt. She has nair, up tilt has a kill confirm. Up tilt's so strong for no reason. She has a lot. She has so much. I don't even know if Paloops are real. I don't think they are, from like what like YouTube King said before. But I don't think those are real. But Palu's ridiculous. Palu's so good. I'm glad I never have to worry about that character because I have a 65-35 and I have lost to like one Palu in tournament ever. And then I'm 4-1 with them. And Palu's definitely necessary for the meta because she checks a lot of like the more like degenerate characters, but also I don't give a let the degenerates run because Pikachu also beats them. Number 2. What if I just put Pikachu number 2? What if I just did this? What if I just did that? Then lose to check? Online doesn't count. Joker's number 2. Joker's good. He loses more matchups than Pika, which is the main reason I do this, but Joker's ridiculous. He's one of the hardest characters to hit. His neutral is incredible. His combo game is incredible. He has so many drag downs. He has combos that last forever. He's really good on platforms. Arsene. Like, his recovery is a little bit easy to deal with sometimes, which is like his negative. And sometimes he can struggle in mid-range against certain characters. Like Mega Man, like Inkling. Like Mega Man beats this character. Like Pichu beats this character. I think Joker loses like 4, 5, 6 matchups. But also, they're all obviously doable because Arsene's ridiculous. He's so mobile. He has down or up smash. He has, you know, fair up air, drag down, down smash, or up smash, depending on platform or not. Kills so easily, even without Arsene, with like back air and like forward tilt off stage, just edge guarding, edge trapping. Gun is a thing. Gun's ridiculous. Side B is still really good, even though it's got nerfed a couple times. Rebel's Guard is good. Tetrakarn is good, and Karakon, whatever the projectile one. Like he has a great counter that just invalidates a lot of characters' recoveries. He can get Arsene multiple times a stock, which is why Arsene is better than One Winged Angel. Why does he start with 30% meter when he dies? I think that's really dumb. I think that's really, really dumb. Well, he does so much damage, and then the thing is, he doesn't even have to play aggressive. He can just run from like 85% of the cast. He just runs, and then slowly gets Arsene, and then just Arsene. Also, he has up air infinite. Up air, 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 like the fastball. I don't know why they haven't nerfed that yet. I would love for them to nerf up air, drag down, like how plus it is. That'd be great. He's just everything. He has everything. He literally has everything except for a super broken recovery. By the way, who has a super broken recovery? Pikachu. So obviously, Pikachu's busted. Nice as hell. But he has a lot of good things about him. I think that Pikachu, one, is the only character that hasn't been nerfed in the game. Has the best edge guarding in the game. Has really broken combos because he has Nair loops and up air bridges. I think up air bridge is the only reason Pikachu is the best character in the game. I think if up air bridge didn't exist, he'd be second or third. But it just works on so many relevant characters. So many relevant characters. Like, it's a full bridge on Joker, Palu, Wolf, Min. I think Mythra, Snake, R.O.B, Roy, Zero Suit, Kazuya, Wario, Sephiroth, Falcon, Chrom, Youngling. Like, I'm not exaggerating. Like, these are all very easy to bridge characters. And they're, like, all the good characters. And there's more. There's, like, Diddy and Cloud and the Belmonts and... Like, he has so many things that just are so dumb in, like, every matchup. Like, back air just getting off stage. Like, I win... Like, literally, if back air was worse or didn't always send backwards, I would have, like, 5 to 8 more losing matchups. Or at the very least, like, no 7-3s. Because there's so many characters that, like, the Belmonts that are kind of annoying, but then I back air them and I win. Same with Cloud. Same with Robin. Well, Robin is bad for other reasons as well. You can't really bridge Game & Watch. You have to have platforms to bridge Game & Watch. But he's super hard to hit. He's super annoying. He's very short. He's very fast. Quick attack is broken. Does Pikachu have a bad move? His worst move is forward tilt, in my opinion. And forward tilt is still pretty good. It's a 2-framing move, and it's a frame 6 normal that does like 12. His matchup spread is ridiculous. Like, even with a negative matchup spread, he has like 3 losing matchups and like 6 even matchups, and that's it. And that's like a pessimistic matchup chart. Because it's like you lose to like Game & Watch, Wario, Ness, and Lucas. And then like even with like Pac-Man, Yoshi, Lucina, Snake, Yoshi, fucking Olimar. And like that's it. And then he still beats everyone else. Like that's a pessimistic chart. I went over the matchup chart yesterday with Shiny Mark. We think Pikachu loses definitively 1 matchup, maybe 0 matchups, or maybe 2 matchups, but maybe also 0 matchups. He's ridiculous. He has Thunder Jolt, which just Thunder Jolt approaching beats 90% of the characters in this game. Back air by itself beats 90% of the characters in this game. His combos beat 90% of the characters in this game. Like, every single thing is just so good for him. His matchup spread is so ridiculous, especially considering the matchups that he has that are losing, other than Meister, are pretty not relevant. Like, there's like 3 Nest players and like 1 Game Watch player. Like, he's the... Like, there are so many times in this tier list that I'm like, yeah, like something. I know Pikachu beats this character, but whatever. Let's continue to talk about them as if that doesn't happen. Great juggling, great mid-range, quick attack's ridiculous. Forward air is safe on shield against not 3-frame uppies. Just dominates every character in like one aspect of the game. Whether it's neutral, whether it's mid-range, whether it's recovery, whether it's edge guarding, whether it's juggling, like something. Like something is always in your favor in every matchup, even the matchups you lose. Because, like, even Game & Watch, like, I think Pikachu's neutral is better than Game & Watch, so if you just play neutral better, you can win. But, like, Pikachu's broken. He's super good. There's so many things, like, the hardest thing about this character, I mean, Pikachu, you know, when we were talking about, like, when me, Waddy, and Mars were talking about the hardest characters in the game, they agreed that Pikachu was, like, the second hardest character in the game. Because, ironically, he has so many good options. He has so many good options that it's hard to pick the right one all the time. Because if you pick the wrong one, it's hard, and if you mess up your combos, you're wrong, you know? But I think Pikachu's ridiculous. I don't think there's a single flaw for this character, except for sometimes you can't be super reckless. Like, that's it. Because especially with the stuff that we know, like, a different one of Pikachu's flaws is he gets 2-framed sometimes by characters, like Sonic's Forward Smash and stuff. But, like, there's non-2-frameable angles, which are so dumb. Like... You can just not get 2-framed as Pikachu, which is ridiculous, because he also, like, gets off the ledge for free against almost every character in the game. He has combos that are better than almost every character in the game. Short, like, there's no flaw. There's 0 flaws. The flaw is he's hard, and that's literally it. Like, it's just Pikachu's hard. And with that, the tier list is done. Again, here's an overview of it, because, wow, that was a lot of talking. There's so much to talk about. But, again, I just really enjoy talking about this game, and, like, in this type of fashion, and for some reason going over this tier list and the matchup chart that I did recently, which, by the way, if you missed the matchup charts that I uploaded with Shiny Mark, the second best Pikachu. Those will be up in the cards up above as well, because they were really good. But I feel like talking about this game has kind of reinvigorated my passion, and I'm really excited to start going to some offline majors starting in September. My first one is Riptide, in case you were unaware, and that's like, I guess, September 11th weekend, so it's in about a month. I'm really looking forward to it, and I hope I do well. And of course, as always, you can leave comments down below if you agreed or disagreed with the entire tier list, but of course this one is the top tier one. Again, I put a lot of thought into these tier lists, and I hope it shows, because I'm not just like giving characters 30-second things except for the bad characters, because they deserve it. Again, let me know also what type of content you want. I promise you the DI video is coming, but again, of any other videos, let me know what you want, because I'm pretty open, because I'm doing this, you know, I'm not doing the Twitch highlight stuff as much. So yeah, I'll see you all next time. That one, so good. It just extends stuff so far.